She musters a smile for his nostalgic tale, never coming near what he wanted to say, only to realize it never really was. She had a place in his life. He never made her think twice. As she rises to her apology, anybody else would surely know he's watching her go. What a fool believes he sees. The wise man has the power to reason away what seems to be is always better than nothing, and nothing at all. Keep sending him somewhere back in long ago, where he can still believe there's a place in her life. Someday, somewhere, she will return. She had a in his life. He never made her think twice. As she rises to her apology, anybody else would surely know he's watching her go. What a fool believes he sees. The wise man has the power to reason away what is love can come and love can go. To be right can love is always better than nothing. Who got the power and nothing at all? Oh, now what a fool believes. I believe she's never gone away. He sees. The wise man has the power to reason away. Oh, it's love can come and love can go. To be all alone is always better than nothing.
Mic check, mic check. Wait. Mic check, mic check, mic check. All right. Hello. What is fucking going on, boys? We got week 1 recap. All right. We're going to go over some top waiver wire pickups and stuff like that. Glad I was able to at least get some time to have a pod today. Got off work earlier than usual, so appreciate everyone that's tuning in tonight. We'll have this on my channel as well for anyone to watch whenever it gets done as well. So it'll be in the live tab. It doesn't pop up on video since it's live stream, so make sure you go in the live tab whenever you're watching these videos. So, but anyways, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and break down some of the matchups that we had in the SGS League this week. Obviously, very disappointing performance for my team. My team's looking like shit. If I'm being completely honest, my team looks fucking terrible. I need to make some moves. I'm definitely going to probably try to put some people on the trade block that I necessarily don't want to put on the trade block, but really my problem is depth right now. And so definitely going to be weighing my options and trying to figure out what approach I should take. But currently, my team looks like one of the worst teams in the league, and I hate to say that, but I'm just being bluntly honest with how my team looks so far. So, unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'll go ahead and start off with the first matchup, which is going to be Easton and Kyle. So Kyle ended up coming with the dub. Kyle was down and out before the game on Sunday night. And, man, let me tell you, when you have Josh Allen and Derrick Henry put up a combined, 66 point, or is that 70? I don't even know if I'm doing my math right. See, that's like 60, yeah, that's like 66 points. That's ridiculous. Obviously, Josh Allen going number 1 QB for a reason. And he put up an absolute stellar performance. And, I mean, overall, you look at that game as a whole, there were so many. It was just a high-scoring matchup. It was honestly one of the better. It's probably going to be one of the best games that we're going to have this season, and it happened in Week 1. So, and then obviously Derrick Henry had an insane first half. I mean, the guy just went absolutely nuclear. Derrick Henry's not showing any signs of age whatsoever. I mean, this guy, day in and day out, continues to be a big-time fantasy winner for people, just with his production. And he's just going to continue to be doing this as long as he stays healthy. So, I mean, overall, I mean, those two just absolutely carried the whole team for Kyle. Jacoby Myers had a pretty decent performance, but, I mean, you look at everyone else. I mean, David Montgomery only had 6. A.J. Brown only had 1. Colson Loveland with 2. Tyron Tracy with 4. And then you look at the bench, Debo, Jacoby Krosky, Merritt, which are definitely some high upside guys. Definitely Debo Samuel is definitely going up in my rankings after that performance that he put up this last week. And then obviously Krosky Merritt, looking at him from the future perspective as well, could he end up being the starter? Definitely, there's definitely a possibility, that's for sure. But I will say this, that an absolute carry by the two Keens up here. And then you got Easton's team. Easton's team, I mean, not necessarily they had a terrible week. Really, Dak Prescott kind of sold them. Only 7 points. Jahmyr Gibbs, Chuba Hubbard had a great game, but Jahmyr Gibbs overall with only 10. That's the unfortunate reality when you play in a 0.5 reception league, because he put up literally 10 receptions. So that's just 5 points right there alone. You look at DK Metcalf, Matthew Golden, not the best performances from either one of these guys. DK's definitely going to be number 1, and it was very optimistic to see how good Pittsburgh's offense looked the first week, but we'll just kind of have to play by ear and see how all that goes. Brock Bowers, he got hurt during the game. I haven't really heard much updates about him. He's still questionable. Looking like he's indicated that he's fine. I guess it was a little knee injury that he got hit up with, but looking like he's probably going to be good to go. So, Travis Etienne, I will say this, and I haven't really spoke about this whole trade that happened with Tank Bigsby. That boosts up Travis Etienne in my rankings, 100%. I mean, Etienne, obviously, is it Tudan or something? I think it's Tudan, or Tuden. I don't know how you say his name. But his stock rose as well. So, I mean, overall, Travis Etienne definitely is looking like a guy that you could easily start every single week now, especially after the performance that he put up. And now with no Tank Bixby taking all those carries away from him, I mean, it's only up from here for Travis Etienne until they get the rookie more involved, which they didn't really get the rookie involved much. They didn't get him really going that much at all whatsoever in that game. So, but yeah, you just look at this as a whole. I mean, Kyle's team, Josh Allen, Derrick Henry absolutely carried the bunch. And in all honesty, that's when you have those two putting up points like that, it's really hard to beat teams. So, next matchup we got was Chance and Andy. This matchup was really good. Definitely one of the top matchups of the week for sure. Definitely looking at the QBs. I mean, Lamar Jackson, insane game for him as well. He's going to continue to put up numbers like this on a week-to-week basis, most likely. So, pretty great performance from Patrick Mahomes too. Obviously, the offense is beat up. You don't have. It doesn't look like Xavier Worthy's gonna come back anytime soon. We're still kind of hearing about it right now. I'm not really too sure, but his top weapon's going to be Kelsey and Hollywood Brown. So definitely some concern going forward with that, but Mahomes is going to find his guys regardless, and this was a really good game for him. Travis TreVeyon Henderson, obviously one of those guys that you just kind of have to wait and see. Obviously, later half of the season, this guy is going to end up being the starter, in my opinion. Ramondre Stevenson's just taking some of that workload that Henderson will end up taking over at some point. And then you got Pacheco. Pacheco's just kind of one of those guys that I don't know. I don't know about Pacheco. He's definitely risky in my opinion right now with how he's been playing. Split backfield with Kareem Hunt too. CeeDee Lamb, obviously CeeDee Lamb's going to have big performances going forward. He's definitely still going to be an alpha wide receiver. Jackson Smith-Njigba played really well. You'd love seeing that from Smith-Njigba for sure. Trey McBride, obviously, is going to get a heavy workload in Arizona. You'll see that on a week-to-week basis as well. So big performances from the Broncos defense and Harrison Buckner as well. Chance's team, Bucky Irving. Obviously, you love to see how much of a workload Bucky Irving's getting. Rachaad White's pretty much non-existent in this offense at this point. So looking at all that workload that Bucky's getting, I mean, he's definitely primed to end up having some bigger weeks going forward. R.J. Harvey, kind of saw a little bit of spectacles from him in that last game. Obviously, J.K. Dobbins is going to continue to lead this backfield, but R.J. Harvey will slowly transition. He's kind of in the same place as TreVeyon Henderson right now. Justin Jefferson, Cortland Sutton, good performances from them. A little bit of a down week for Justin Jefferson, but I wouldn't be too concerned with that. Dalton Kincaid had a great week, and then Rome Odunze also got saved by that touchdown that he had late in the game. So, but overall, yeah, great week for Chance. Barely got the dub, but that is a dub, so you'll take that all fucking day. This matchup, oh man. I mean, I thought I had a bad week. Like, I was down in shambles. And then I looked at this matchup and saw how many points that Bryce's team put up. And I was like, wow, yeah, it could definitely be worse. I mean, yeah, you look at this and obviously there was only your leading scorer was your kicker, Keami Fairbairn. The Ravens -7. Jerome Ford 1 point. Jerome Ford at this point looks like someone you could easily cut now. He wasn't hardly involved in this offense whatsoever. I mean, he didn't produce at all, and Dylan Sampson's looking like and Quinshon Judkins coming back too if he's available for week 2. I mean, Jerome Ford just doesn't look like he's going to have any upside at this point. TJ Hawkinson, definitely supposed to be one of the top tight ends. Not like top 5, but I mean top 10, yeah. Just a dud week. Tyreek Hill, 6. Jamar Chase, only 3.6. I mean, Kamara did okay. Kenneth Walker, interesting little situation with Zach Charbonnet getting more heavily involved in this offense. So, yeah, I mean, overall, there's a lot of red flags. I mean, Bo Nix only with 7. Yeah, I mean, overall, just looking at this as a whole, I mean, there's definitely some concerns going forward. And, I mean, you have Dylan Sampson, so at least you have that upside. And Jamar Chase isn't going to be putting up these kind of numbers every week. But, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of pieces on this offense or on this team right now that I'm a little worried about for Bryce. And then with Jack's team, good performance. Baker Mayfield with 22, Saquon with 16, James Cook with 18. So definitely running backs absolutely carried the load here for him this week. James Cook looking great in that game, had a lot of efficiency. I mean, that was just a high-scoring offensive gauntlet of a game. And then Saquon obviously didn't meet his projection, but you'll take 16 any day from a running back. Little disappointed, obviously, on the wide receiver group. Mike Evans only put up 7. Abuka was the one who had the huge week. Jameson Williams only with 4. Kind of some concerns going forward with the Lions offense. I didn't realize that their offense was going to not look this good at all. only putting up 13 first week. I mean, they did have a tough matchup, so. But then you got David Njoku, which you see Harold Fannin taking a lot of the snaps in this offense, putting up a pretty solid week. There's definitely some concerns for Njoku going forward. Cooper Kupp, I mean, he's a boomer bust every week, I feel like. He did not really show up in this game week 1. Just not a lot of points scored. And then big week for Chris Boswell for the kicker, though. But yeah, I mean, overall, just looking at this as a whole, I mean, Jack's team definitely dominated. This is the biggest point differential of the week. So, Bryce, I'm wishing you very well, but man, that's just a rough first week for Bryce right there. Kind of breaking down the Caliban matchup. So Connor gets the dub. Very low scoring matchup right here overall. Kyler Murray, Bijan, had some pretty solid weeks. Kyler Murray met his exact projection, and then Bijan had that huge touchdown to start the game. So, overall, great performances from those guys. Tony Pollard, obviously this Tennessee offense does not look good so far. We'll just have to give it some time, but yeah, Cam Ward, obviously not the best performance week 1, and Tony Pollard didn't really do much either. T. Higgins. Cincinnati looks surprisingly kind of iffy. I know I was expecting both teams to smash this week for this game to be one of the top matchups of the week, but yeah, interesting little. I'm sure Joe Burrow is gonna dominate in the future, but definitely a little concerning seeing how Cincinnati played this week. Devontae Adams, he did. I mean, only 7 points with him. Obviously, Puka Nacua, you saw the amount of workload that he got in this offense. Puka Nacua is the obvious alpha, and it doesn't look like that's ever going to go away, too. And I apologize. I'm going to move this right here. Let me move my camera, because it's kind of in the way. I didn't even realize how much it was in the way. I apologize. But anyways, yeah, I mean, overall, George Pickens, kind of disappointing week. Kelsey did get a pretty decent workload. And then you kind of look at Carson's team, right? And Drake May put up 15, J.K. Dobbins with 13. Obviously, no one was happy with how Marion Hampton played this week. Just give the guy time. This was his first game in the NFL, so I think Marion Hampton for sure is going to be a really good running back going forward. Just got to stay patient with him. And then with Nico Collins and Drake London, I mean, who are premier wide receivers, seeing how bad the Houston offense looked was definitely a concern. I mean, Nico only putting up 4 points is something that you don't want to see. Drake London with 9. Obviously, he had a lot of opportunities to score touchdowns. But overall, not too concerned with Drake London. Michael Penix actually looked pretty decent in this game. Jake Ferguson, he's just, everyone. I mean, you got to start him, but could actually look at some waiver wire pickups at some point for tight end. McMillan, I think he'll continue to. I mean, obviously, this was his first game in the NFL as well. The only concerns with McMillan going forward is just the fact that Bryce Young looked like the worst QB in the league this week. And obviously, he had a very strong end of season last season, but if Bryce Young's going to continue to play like this, I mean, McMillan's stock is going to go down for sure. So, but yeah, overall, good win for Connor. Now, going over to the Dylan and Tuck matchup. So, looking at basically how good Tuck's team looked this week. Justin Herbert with 27, McCaffrey with 18, Kyron Williams with 13, Garrett Wilson with 19, Zay Flowers with 24. I mean, Tuck's team absolutely smashed this week. Wide receivers looked great. Zay Flowers had, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Zay Flowers had like the best game of his career. I mean, this was a heck of a matchup here. I was expecting this to be a lot closer, but man, Tuck's team just absolutely dominated. And I mean, Evan Ingram didn't play well, and Jerry Jeudy overall, he didn't look as great either. But what a performance for Tuck's team. I mean, you look at the squad, and I mean, overall, this is definitely a team that could make some noise. I mean, am I expecting the guys that he had go off every single week? No. I think that this was definitely one of the best games I've seen Zay Flowers ever have. And then Garrett Wilson, obviously, there was some concerns with, Justin Fields being QB taking. I mean, it's just going to be more of a rushing type of offense, but Justin Fields is out there slinging it. So, but Kyron Williams and Christian McCaffrey is going to be putting up that workload, especially this next upcoming week. I mean, if he's fully healthy and Brock Purdy's out, I mean, dude, he's going to be getting a lot of touches this week. So, stellar performance by Tuck's team. And, I mean, some of the bench guys go off too. But then you look at Dylan's team. It's not like Dylan's team played bad. I mean, overall, Brock Purdy with 16, Genty with 11, Breece Hall with 15. Breece Hall looking like he's going to continue to take over this backfield. Brian Thomas, Marvin Harrison. Brian Thomas, a little bit of a disappointing week for him. I thought Brian Thomas was going to smash this week, but no, it was the Travis Etienne show. Marvin Harrison had a really good week, got that touchdown. Aaron Jones got that receiving touchdown. Obviously, you're a little bit concerned with the workload. It's definitely a committee. You're looking at Jordan Mason taking a lot of the rushing in this offense. And then Sam Laporta looked really good this week as well. Definitely probably going to be – Sam Laporta's a top 5 tight end this year with how he played so far that start this season. So the tight ends right now, they're all just iffy. It's kind of like a boom or bust with the tight ends that we got right now. Just don't have a lot of options. So, but what a week for Tuck. Tuck absolutely dominated. He's the MVP of the week for sure with how his team played. Next up, looking at Bird and Jace's matchup. Jace's team played pretty solid. Obviously not a great game for Trevor Lawrence, but you had the running backs come out and at least put up some decent performances for you. Josh Jacobs, Devon Achane. That's another thing is how concerning the Miami offense looks right now. The Miami offense is, Tua was just not on page with anyone. It's a big concern. They look like a bottom 5 offense this week. Got absolutely blown out by the Colts. So going forward, obviously Devon Achane's still going to be getting a lot of work, but you do have some concern with how this offense looks week to week right now. Really the wide receivers overall, Ricky Pearsall had a great week. And I think Ricky Pearsall is bound to crush with the George Kittle the injury and the Jawan Jennings injury, which I don't know if Jawan Jennings will be good to go. We'll have to see. But George Kittle was just put on IR. So Ricky Pearsall's stock it's raised. And then big performances for the defense and the kicker as well. So, obviously, Justin Fields would have been the start to make this week, and you would have competed to have one of the highest scores of the week with Tuck. But overall, great performance from Jace's team. You got Michael Pittman, who had dropped 17 on the bench. And then with Bert's team, just not the best week whatsoever for some of the top guys. Jane Daniels played good. But DeAndre Swift, Austin Eckler, Eckler's not looking like a guy that I would start going forward. Amon-Ra with a disappointing week just because of the fact that Detroit's offense didn't look that great. Ladd McConkey, obviously, didn't get any touchdowns or anything, but he's going to be the number one receiver in this offense, in my opinion, still going forward. Very excited for Tyler Warren, I will say. Tyler Warren was heavily involved in that offense for the Colts this last Sunday. So definitely some optimism seeing Tyler Warren crush it. Travis Hunter got a lot of work in the offense this week. But the thing with Travis Hunter is, I mean, obviously they're going to be kind of moving him around from offense to defense. Probably just depending on the matchups and stuff. I'm not really too sure, but and he obviously had Javonte Williams go for 19 on the bench. But solid week for Jace for sure. Gets the dub. Now, going over to my matchup, which I won't touch up on this too much because I really don't want to talk about it, but GG's to Seth. Unfortunately, just had some bad things happen for my team, but obviously Ibuka crushed. You're very excited about Ibuka going forward with no Godwin in the offense still. Puka Nacua is going to be an absolute dog this year if he stays healthy. He's definitely going to be putting up numbers every single week, just with the amount of targets and workload. I mean, he's not even playing that much snaps compared to some of these other top receivers. Pretty decent week for the running backs. Obviously didn't meet their projections, but you'll take 12. It's better than Mark Andrews putting up 1 and Joe Burrow only putting up 8. So, but yeah, I mean, overall my team was very disappointed. Obviously the Xavier Worthy injury absolutely killed me. The Giants' offense looks terrible. I'm not looking forward to seeing Russell Wilson start once again this week. I would love to see Jackson Dart go in there, but only time will tell with that. Jonathan Taylor, I'm actually very excited about. I am excited about Jonathan Taylor. Obviously, that was a blowout, so he didn't really play much in the second half, but I am very excited for Jonathan Taylor going forward. Jalen Hurts had a great week, and then Tucker Kraft got that touchdown. Can't really ask for anything more. Khalil Shakir met his projection, so it's whatever. But Keenan Allen on my bench did kind of hurt a little bit. Obviously, it would have, if I would have started him, I actually would have won over Xavier Worthy. But obviously, I wasn't expecting an Xavier Worthy injury. So, but that's just the reality of fantasy football, gentlemen. That is just the reality. So, great matchups this week. We're going to have another video come out to look at the Week 2 matchups and everything. But I'm going to go ahead and break down the waiver wire. Obviously, our waiver wire is super late tonight. So, real quick, I will go to the waiver wire, and we're going to check out some of the people that are definitely looking like some top guys to pick up this week. So, obviously, looking at the waiver order right now, Bryce is up there, Carson's up there, I'm up there, Burt, Easton, Dylan. So, top guys getting in the waiver order this week for that. Looking at the players, okay, so definitely some intriguing guys. We'll start with wide receiver. Some wide receivers that are definitely intriguing to pick up. Let's see. Is there any way I can change this? Let's see. Watch list, IR eligible. On waivers. So currently, obviously Quentin Johnston's probably going to be one of the number one waiver wire pickups for this week after the huge week he had with the 2 touchdowns. Quentin Johnston, I mean, obviously with how deep our league is 100% worth a roster spot. The only concern is when should you start him, because obviously we've seen Quentin Johnston have weeks like this in the past, and then obviously the next week he doesn't put up those kind of numbers. So, I mean, you just got to think about it from the aspect that the target share that Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey are going to be getting to take away from Quentin Johnston too is something to kind of think about. So, now, looking at the other wide receivers, I do think Calvin Austin is probably another one that someone might end up trying to roster this week after his big performance. Had the touchdown in that game. Nico Suave will bounce back. I believe in you, Carson. RGQ. Yo, what's up, man? How's it going? But yeah, I mean, overall, you got to be pretty excited for this Pittsburgh offense after they looked week one with Aaron Rodgers throwing all those touchdowns. So just dropped 11% of my fab for Quinshon Judkins. Honestly, 11%. Honestly, I would do that if he's on the waivers. Yeah, I'd pick him up. I mean, there's a chance he's going to be the starting running back for the Cleveland Browns. But seeing Dylan Sampson and how he played this week, how heavily involved he was with the offense, it'll probably be a committee. Obviously, Quinshon Judkins, it's going to take him a little bit of time to get into the flow of the offense and everything. But we'll just have to wait and see. I don't really necessarily think that Quinshon Judkins is someone I would start immediately unless your team is down bad, kind of like mine. Knowing me, I'm probably going to start Quinshon Judkins this week because of how bad my running back group is. But yeah, Calvin Austin overall looking like he will be a top waiver wire pickup for this week. Other than that, wide receiver wise, there's not really anyone else that really stands out to me wide receiver wise that could be someone that people will go pick up this week. But those two are going to be the top ones. Want to see what running backs. So obviously we got a few guys out here that are handcuffs. Honestly, not really anyone that just... Yeah, I agree with that. Kendrick Bourne is definitely maybe a stash guy. And another guy that I didn't even mention, which I don't know where he's at, but Boutte as well. You look at the week that he had, he looked like he was the top receiver for... He looked like he was the top receiver for the Patriots this last week. So he's definitely a guy, too, that you could maybe go pick up. He's only rostered in 0.6% of leagues. So, I mean, this is another guy right here that you could definitely go pick up and just keep on your bench and just kind of hold, just to kind of see what happens with him after putting up 13 this past week. So he's definitely one of Drake May's favorite targets. So he's definitely another guy that you could definitely go pick up, no doubt. It doesn't hurt, especially with the league I'm in, with it being 14 people. Definitely another guy that could be someone that you could go pick up. So what is going on here? Okay. And then we got some QBs. We got CJ, Jared Goff, Jordan Love. Now, if we're looking at not really any running backs, so, I mean, we kind of already looked through them. I mean, you could go pick up Tank Bixby maybe for a handcuff back. But other than that, I mean, not really anyone else that really stands out to me that is worth a roster spot. You look at the tight ends. So the tight ends is another streaming that is going to be definitely... There's going to be some people streaming some tight ends in this league for sure. Dropping Caleb Johnson for Judkins, and I'm thinking dropping Cooper Kupp for Keenan Allen. Caleb Johnson... Okay, running backs, you got Kyron Chuba, Caleb Mixon. I personally... I would drop Thielen for Quinshon Judkins. I would keep Caleb Johnson just in case. I know obviously he didn't have a lot of work this week, but obviously he's a rookie. Overall, I think that he will end up having a role with this offense in the future, but I think you should definitely keep Caleb Johnson for right now. I think you should drop Thielen for Judkins, honestly. If that's just me, though. Because Thielen, idealistically, that's the one player on your roster that I'm like, there's really no use for him. But yeah, Boutte definitely was putting up some WR1 numbers this first week, definitely. Oh, you dropped Thielen for Hollywood Brown. Okay. Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, okay. Yeah, that's a tough one. I have Andrews. Should I pick up a new tight end? It depends who's on the waivers. I would definitely, if you don't have another tight end, I would 100% probably go pick up one, yes. Obviously, that was pretty concerning seeing the amount of workload that Andrews had on that insane game that we watched this past Sunday night. So, yeah, I would probably at least go get another tight end. You probably are going to have like Harold Fannin available. I'm sure Cade Otton might be another guy that's available. But yeah, I mean, you look at the tight ends. Hunter Henry will probably be available. Hunter Henry looked pretty good this week. He'll probably be a top tight end pickup for this week in waivers. And then obviously Harold Fannin as well, which I don't see him on here. But Harold Fannin's another guy that you could definitely roster. There he is. So Harold Fannin had a pretty big workload this week. I mean, he dropped 10, but this is a 0.5 reception league. So, and then with Juwan Johnson had a heavy workload this week too. He's definitely another guy you could definitely consider. There's quite a few different tight ends out there that you could definitely that have some upside that are currently on the waivers, just in my league. But I'm sure if you're in a 10 or 12 team league, there's other tight ends on the board for sure. Is Cooper Kupp droppable, especially for one of these guys, Calvin Austin, Quentin Johnson, or Keyshawn Butte? Man, that's a good question. Yeah, that's a great question. Obviously, Cooper Kupp didn't look great week one. I mean, idealistically, I would probably just hold on to Kupp for just the time being. If I was going to pick up anyone, I'd probably pick up Quentin Johnson. I would probably stay away from Calvin Austin. I'd probably stay away from Butte for right now. Okay, I don't want to overreact after week one with these guys, but definitely they look great week one. But I also don't want to overreact. Cooper Kupp not putting up the best performance this week, so I think that you keep Cooper Kupp just for right now. You got Pitts, Kraft, Kincaid, Ertz, Jonnu. Who would you take? I'd probably either take Kraft or Kincaid. Those would be my top two guys for sure. I kind of lean towards Kincaid more than Kraft for right now after week one performances, but I think Kraft still has a lot of upside overall. He could potentially be a top 10 tight end this year easily, but Kincaid could be as well. So those would be the two that I would choose if I was going to pick any tight ends. But yeah, overall, there's a couple tight ends out here on the waivers that you can definitely go pick up for sure. Defensive streamers for this week, I mean, you'll just have to look at the matchups. But I mean, the Rams defense is definitely very intriguing to go pick up if the Rams defense is available in your league. The Cowboys defense, very intriguing, going up against the Giants. Let's see, what other matchups we got? Potentially the Chargers against Vegas. Vegas didn't look too bad week one, but that's potentially another one you could do. Denver didn't look the best week one, so the Colts defense has a pretty high projection. Buccaneers defense wouldn't be a bad one either. But that's just a couple defenses. Packers defense, surprisingly, being on here is kind of crazy. There's a few different pretty decent defenses in this league right now that are available. Lions didn't look great week one, but and if you were thinking QBs, idealistically, with the ones that we have available, you could, idealistically, if you want to get another QB, Daniel Jones isn't a bad option. I mean, Aaron Rodgers you could pick up just after the big week that he had. Stafford's always a solid option. Jordan Love. But yeah, overall, I mean, Caleb Williams, he's pretty decent guy to also have with his rushing upside and everything too. So, but that's just a couple QBs that are available on the waivers as well. Yeah, overall, I mean, let me look at the not projected. See these final standing projections. I'm sure. Not surprised by that. I projected last. No surprise, honestly. No surprise. No surprise. My team looks like shit. This is by far the worst league that I've drafted in so far. It's not even close. All my other leagues look pretty decent, but this one right now, my team is looking down and out. Yeah, it's rough for me right now. Just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. So I definitely got to attack the waiver wire tonight for sure. But anyways, thank you guys for all tuning in today. Appreciate the support and everything. And we'll be back sometime this week. We'll put out the week 2 projections for this week and everything. Look at some of the matchups we got and.